Yo, what is up, Ice Army? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'm here to make your day a little bit better with some awesome fights. Here today, I'm using Frank Mir for 5 ranked fights. Now, I was actually a little nervous recording the gameplay for this video. Honestly, the only time I've played this game at all in the past week was the 4 matches, that I recorded for the Chad Mendez video. And aside from that, I haven't played any rivalries with anyone. If anyone's on Xbox, you can see my ranked record. It hasn't changed. And with the kind of wild pace I was keeping, grinding this game out for so long, probably over the past couple months, it was definitely a huge change up not playing the game really. Since, like I told you guys, I mentioned in the last video, I've been working on uploading so much content and really making my content giving it as much value as possible. And what I mean by that is simply just putting in a lot of hard work into even the smallest things like my thumbnails. I try to be as detailed as possible and make sure the shadowing is right on my letters and the coloring is just right. I like bright colors. I like to make things pop with like a dark background sometimes. I don't know. I've kind of developed a passion with Adobe Photoshop and all the cool things you can do with all the options that they give you. So there you see me real quick. I was checking out the abilities of Frank Mir. It doesn't make too big of a difference in the way I plan on playing this fight. I know I have to get it to the ground. I know that if I don't get it to the ground, I'm in a lot of trouble. If I come across anyone that knows how to deny the clinch and takedowns both equally, it could be a long fight for me. So I'm hoping the matchmaking is on my side, and I'm also hoping I'm not too rusty, as silly as that might sound, with all the fights that I have. Like I mentioned, I was pretty anxious and nervous for this fight. I don't know why, just picking Frank Mir, knowing he has really bad ratings compared to the top guys in the division like Cain Velasquez and Verdum. And look, my first opponent, he picks Cain Velasquez. The only thing I had going for me in this fight, during the intros and just kind of mentally preparing for it, was I realized I did not recognize my opponent's gamertag, which is a good sign for me. It tells me he's not too skilled of a player. There you can see his record on the screen. Going into the fight, of course, I didn't know that though. So since I didn't know anything about my opponent really, all I knew is he was Cain Velasquez, I ended up going pretty hard. I'm pretty sure I shoot takedowns fairly early in the fight. Yeah, he hits me with a couple body shots. I attempt to clinch. I figured that might work. It's probably not the best idea though. Frank Mir, I think, only has like an 88 clinch. There, the single leg straight to top half guard. Gets me in full guard. I deny that transition. Get back to half guard. The opposite side this time. Touch him up a little bit. Deny him there. And immediately go to side settle. He gets out. I take his back. Gonna try an armbar, full stamina. Let's see what we do here. Got the first stage. Second stage. Oh man, he got out on the third stage. He ends up in my guard, which I don't mind, but I made the mistake there of letting him stand back up. Immediately though, I get him back to the ground. I realize this is where I need the fight. I don't want to stand with a guy like Cain. Cain also has a big health advantage over me. He's got a hell of a chin, and his body can take a lot of shots as well compared to Frank Mir. Yeah, Frank Mir's only got like an 85 body health, whereas I think Cain has a 97 or 96. Here I'm denying transitions like crazy. I'm gonna go armbar. I mess up on the first stage. That was a rookie mistake right there, especially when he had such low stamina. I think I definitely could have had that submission. Yeah, here I'm just working him, staying patient, getting some nice smooth transitions in. I deny that side saddle to side control transition. I deny that one again. I went to go arm triangle and it didn't register. Here my Kimura did though. And just to show off, since he has such low stamina, I know I have I have a good chance of getting all 5 stages. I don't go for the armbar switch, which would have only made it 3 stages. I do all 5. Showing what Ice Army's all about, man. Getting these savage 5-stage submissions. Full stamina and low stamina, we don't care. As you guys will see, my opponents do become harder and harder throughout this series, or this video. I started off with a guy who, you know, had maybe 800 fights or less. Now things pick up. You see I'm fighting Verdum this fight. Of course, people are picking Kane and Verdum, the 2 best guys, against my Mir. Let's take a look at his record. Benji coming in with about 2,500 fights, a little over that. That's a good amount of fights. That's much more experience than our last opponent. So here we go, round 1 underway. How will all his experience play into this fight? Will it help him defeat my Frank Mir? We'll see. I open up with a couple basic combos here. Jab, cross jab, head kick. Here I initiate the clinch with Verdum, which is, he's probably surprised by that. I'm still more so experimenting with the Frank Mir's clinch and how he feels in it. There I pay the price though. You saw him get the outside trip after he faked the exit of the clinch. I get him back to my guard though. This is where I want to be with Frank. He's got some abilities. I can't remember what it's called, but he is quick on his back, especially from his guard. I think he might have guard specialist, level 3. There he catches me with the transition. It was more so a fake on my part. I was going to fake the full guard transition and then go to take his back. I get back to my guard here. Going to go for another submission. Wait for it. The full guard transition first and then the triangle. Speeds up that submission attempt so much. Let's see, first stage. Got it. Second stage. Boom. Flick the green prompt. That's it, boys. That's all she wrote. Full bar. Let's go. Oh man, what a highlight submission. Such a sick way to finish the fight, especially that being just the second fight of the video. Wait till you see what else is in store, you guys. Wait till you see. Here we go. Stefan Struve is our next opponent. Here in a second, we will get a closer look at our opponent, what his record looks like. If I remember correctly, he does have a better record than the previous people we've faced. Yes, and he also carries a lot of experience, as you can see. A little over 1,000 wins and only 440 defeats. DP Zyme. Here we go, round 1. Let's see, glove touch. Alright, showing some respect. Got some respect. We're both picking lower rated fighters. Gotta show that respect. I get the takedown right away. Of course I was going to be going for it. I knew if there was one place that I didn't want to be in this fight with Stefan Struve, it's on the feet. And I made sure to to the best of my ability that we weren't standing very long. There I immediately tried the arm triangle after denying a transition. Let's see, second stage. No, out on the second. Let's see though, can I still maintain top position? I didn't deny that transition. I would have liked to. It's surprisingly, I don't know if you guys know this, Stefan Struve, if I remember correctly, he has a decent ground game. Like, of course, he obviously has amazing range, but I remember him being more of a grappler than a striker. And I don't follow him too closely in real life to know if that's accurate. But here we go. I was just looking for the opening on the feet. I was waiting for him to throw one too many strikes, get my timing just perfect, picture perfect. There I go, straight to full mount. He puts me back in half guard. I'm going to soften him up with punches and keep passing. Strike to pass and pass to strike. That's a fundamental rule, boys. There I wanted the counter guillotine, but it was too hard to get the timing. Here we get a little clinch battle going. He's touching me up with knees. He fakes the transition to single collar. then he fakes the over-under transition, and then he takes me down. Yeah, so a double fake and then a takedown attempt. Yeah, he definitely had me guessing, man. He had me pressing all kinds of directions on my stick. He had me going in full circles. I was getting dizzy. It's so hard because you really have to, in the clinch with Mir, because his ratings are so low, you really have to time and guess. You really have to press it really early and predict where you think your opponent's going to go more than anything, versus waiting to see the first few steps of the animation. But here we're going back and forth with ground transitions. I get him back in my guard. Really what I want is him to be postured down in my guard and allow me to get a transition attempt off. But he's constantly moving around and wiggling around with his transition fakes and all this stuff. It's really hard for me to keep him still long enough to attempt a submission. And it's already too late to attempt the rear naked choke to armbar switch. I thought about it, but yeah, I mean, once you get to about the 24-second mark in ranked with the accelerated clock, that's about the cutoff for you to be able to lock in a 3-stage submission. I think depending also on how fast the green prompt pops up. Here we go, round 2. I shot the takedown immediately. That first round, it was a good round. We definitely won. Well, actually, he was on top a good amount. I might take that back. But here we go. I denied a transition to the clinch, which is kind of surprising with Mir. He transitions back to single collar. It's kind of interesting. He didn't decide to exit the clinch and go straight up. So he seems to be somewhat content in being tied up in the clinch with me. I don't know. Maybe he has more confidence in his clinch. There he tried to exit and I caught him. And I used that grapple advantage so that my transition to full tie was easier. He ends up getting back to single collar. I like these fights, man. I like being tied up in the clinch here. I have a lot of fun here. I feel like it's really a game of skill. There, he keeps going through with that arm. Every time he switches his arm, which side he goes, I end up flicking the stick the opposite direction. So he did a good job keeping me guessing that entire time. But he did separate, and I'm looking for the takedown once again. Yeah, you see me throw a head kick there. I come nowhere near him. So hard to reach him. There, I fake the outside trip so that I can get the full tie transition. Yeah, I love the fakes, man. I love all those. I love the feeling of just outsmarting your opponent because you know what he's gonna do before he even knows. There, I go for the jumping rear naked choke. You saw me hesitate to go for it because I was waiting for him to transition out so that I could deny a transition first and get the grapple advantage. There was no need for it. There was no need for it. That's it. Ice Army. Let's go. Yeah, and if you guys noticed, that was practically a full bar submission. He was just missing a tiny amount. Look at Frank Mir getting psyched with that celebration. You know what's funny about Frank Mir's celebration in this game? It looks a lot like Brock Lesnar's to me. Where he walks around pointing like Brock and hitting his chin. Looks exactly. I swear they were going to have Brock Lesnar in this game and just gave Frank Mir his winning animation. Here we go. Joe Keeling, an experienced, really experienced player. I've played him quite a bit in ranked. He usually gives me a decent fight. You can see he's got over 3,000 fights. Here we go. Round 1 underway. Frank Mir, Cain Velasquez. We are the underdogs, no doubt about it. Takedown right away. Top half guard, of course. Deny that transition. Go to full mount. We mix it up on him instead of going straight to side control. We denied that transition. We pulled an advanced move. We denied the transition. Went to side control. Denied another transition immediately as he went to the sprawl. And look, we are locking up a Kimura. Switch to an armbar. That's it. You guys already know. I get a hold of any one of your limbs or your neck, you're done. You're done. It's a wrap. Here's Frank Mir again with a celebration. The celebration that Brock used when he beat Frank. Alright, let's see what we got next. Alistair Overeem's our next opponent. This guy's going to be looking to strike, no doubt about it. No one's going to pick Overeem and want to take the fight to the ground. Let's see if we can get a closer look at our opponent's record here. Mercy CT, 677 wins and 235 defeats. Opponent has a solid record this fight. If anything though, just the lack of experience is what's going to hurt him. Here we go, round 1, glove touch. Nope, he doesn't want it. Comes in with a strong leg kick. Immediately gets me in the full tie. I was not expecting that. He caught me off guard. So now I'm stuck in the clinch with Alistair. Mixes up a knee to the body. Tries the outside trip. Back to single collar, which is definitely a better position to be in. I'm faking this outside trip. I keep wanting to put him down and get that automatic top side control, but he's doing a great job defending those and mixing in strikes to kind of keep me guessing. There, I was waiting for him to transition out or to stop blocking his head, but I just waited too long and he transitioned out. Also, I think Overeem has a pretty good clinch rating in this game. You saw he gets me down. I got him in my guard though. This is, like I said, you guys know I don't mind the fight being here. I'm just patiently waiting here. Here I attempt a Kimura, just gonna haphazardly, not really expecting it to go anywhere. But look, we're in the second stage. He's got full stamina. It's a 5-stager. Here we go. Third stage. Oh man, this is getting really deep for full stamina. 4th stage. That's it, you guys. Ice Army represent. Those submissions, they're dirty, you guys. I told you before, earlier in the video. Full stamina, no stamina, we don't care. We're taking your arm home, your leg home, your neck home. We're taking your soul home. Alright, you guys, I'm going to wrap up this video. Before I go, I want to share an awesome screenshot that one of the viewers sent in. My boy Cav Kavinsky, and as you can see at this screenshot he sent me, he was doing a title chase. His first fight of the title chase, he beat DMart 15, then he beat T4H Ayers, and then next, and capped it off with the win over Lurching Dart. If that isn't impressive, I don't know what is, man. That's one of the best screenshots I've seen in a long time. These days, a lot of people just take screenshots of single fight outcomes, but what Cav did here was he took a shot of these past 4 fights. What are the odds of catching this tough of competition back to back? All these guys are top 100 guys. You've got Lurching Dart at 6th, T4H Ayers at 13th in the world, DMart at 46th in the world, and next is at 62. You guys come across any sick knockouts yourself playing the game, make sure to send them to me on Twitter at iimattyiceii, or you can send them to me on Xbox. If I follow you on Twitter, you can DM me. Look forward to seeing what you guys send in. I'm only going to feature one fight at the end of each of my videos. But as always, you guys, this has been Matty Ice. Till next time.